Welcome back to BBPN. I'm your host, Cadet Tank, and we have another season of Nats, Season 12.
Whoa, snizzies, snazzies.
I mean, Season 1 of BBPN, because of our new overlords that have taken over, and a couple of other questionable circumstances. But anyway, welcome back. Now you're probably wondering, what does BBPN stand for? Has to stand for Blood Bowl Players Network, right? No, it is Blood Bowl Premier Network. A lot of discussion about that P word, but oversight, nobody really cares. The point is, we have high quality Blood Bowl action for everybody to keep up with and watch. And Blood Bowl action we will. Now, as you guys know, with the new season comes a longer video, as each caster will do each of their league's due diligence by covering each team in the division, going in depth and seeing how they're starting their builds. And this season, man, do we have everything. We have everything from Superfed, playing Goblins, to Guinness, playing Wood Elves with no rerolls, and Cord playing Norse that are just getting smashed. Anyway, let me stop my rambling and let's get straight into this with Panda in the Nurgle division. That's right, I said Nurgle division.
Flesh, bone, and bile. How delicious.
Greetings and salutations from the Panda Cartel HQ, guys. We're coming at you again. We had a little bit of a hiccup since the last time we spoke or did some coverage. It would appear that the Chaos Gods devoured our previous league. Nats is no more. As such, it has been replaced by the BBPN. And, yeah. So, not only do we do wonderful coverage, we now own the league and can manage it far, far better without having our hands tied. That being said, let's get to some coverage because we've already got 2 match days underway. Looks like this go around, Papa Nurgle talking to the Panda. Let's take a look at what we got here and what's going on. Alright. So, step 1. Team themes. We don't have team themes. The cartel's very upset. You actually lose more games if you don't theme your team. It's been statistically proven somewhere, so it's very important. Also, a little bit different format this go around. We actually have 3 divisions of 12 instead of our 4 divisions of 10. Or close to it. You guys know what's going on. Bottom 2, I believe, are being trimmed. And there may or may not be a special surprise in store for them. We'll have to see what happens. With the Nurgle division, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some teams. Arcade Blaze with the Orcs. So, 3 rerolls, 1 Apo, 3 Fan Factor. Let's see. So, he went the thrower route, and he already... Oh, this shuffling is terrible. Put all your like-minded players together. Just a second, lads, just a second. We are having a alert issue, it would appear. There we go. So, this is nice. The thrower is arguably the most controversial piece on the Orc team. I notice he has block on a couple Black Orcs already. It's not wrong, right? But Hogstench and a couple other really good Orc coaches have actually went with a guard build on the Orcs first to give them a little bit of oomph against, say, like Lizard teams or higher strength opponents. And I'm really a fan of going that route. So I think 1 guard, 1 block would have been correct for the levels. Block is definitely not wrong, especially on Blorks, but I think the guard edges it out. The team looks good. He's got some critical early development on the Black Orgs, so I really think this team is going to be scary further on down the road. Good looking team, RK. We got a motto. We do have a motto. That's important. And we have a theme. See? Theme, motto, critical levels. Guys doing great. Let's keep it up. Superfed TV with goblins. And I am really happy that Superfed is playing goblins. He might not be happy playing goblins, but this is pretty sweet. So he's got 2 trolls. The chainsaw mini. No ball and chain though. That's probably to keep the team value low for the bribes. He's got the Pogoer with sidestep. That's wonderful. And a slew of goblins. He also has a team theme going on. Dark Souls prepare to die. Look. This guy's demons. No fucking motto. I apologize for the language, but Super, this is boo-boo. This is why you're breaking my heart, dude. We need a motto here. Need it. Okay? Get this motto in here. Alright. Sorry. Got me all riled up on the motto. 3 rerolls, 1 hippo, 2 fan factor. So, this is good. 3 rerolls is what it is. I think that's the most you can get. Or at least the most you can get while keeping your team value low enough to keep your critical secret weapons on the pitch. I'm not super familiar with goblins as far as a team build. I can see how they play because I get a lot of boost from them and they make me cry, but I think the build feels correct with how Superfed's going with it, and if anybody would know, it would be him or Scummy, and I'm pretty sure they both know what they're doing. So, that said, the team looks nice, Super. Keep it up. I noticed you got 2 fan factor, so I believe you ate a win, and a tie, possibly, or 2 wins. We'll just take a look for you. Yep, win and a tie. So, keep it going. We'll get that development you need. Warecaster, 1,000 Ways to Die with the Kimry. Oh, we got a motto already. A lot of us had some horrid luck. Alright, well, that's fair enough. We got our death theme going on. He's got 3 tombs. So, this is a little weird. Ideally, I think you want to fire on all of the Tomb Guardians from the beginning, as they lack that critical mighty blow to get them leveled, and you want the highest chance to land MVPs on them. 3 rerolls, 2 fan factor. Obviously they all have regen, so there's not going to be an apothecary. The theme is nice. This is rough though. Like, you did get a good early MVP on a Tomb Guardian, so that's going to need to level as soon as you can. We got the Skellies. Looks like they ate a Cass, and the Blitzraw ate a Cass. So, Kimry a little weird. I'm not really a fan. Some people like them, but the Tomb Guardians really just feel like worse mummies to me. Granted, they have the +1 movement, but the Mighty Blow is what really helps them level. And if you don't get the Cass and you don't get the MVPs on these guys, your team's in for a lot of pain. Especially if these guys are throwing blocks to try to level. So, good luck, Warecaster. I appreciate the theme, thank you, but I think you really needed to focus on these Tomb Guardians, and I know it's a dice roll whether or not they're going to get the cast or not. Good luck to you, man. I hope to see you in the playoffs, or at least in round 2. Papa Cord, the Big Boot, playing Norse this season. So it would appear 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's had a death. Obviously, The question is, it was probably a lino, as he has the other 4 positionals here. Oh, his runner. It was not a lino. It was his runner. That is no good, guys. I really can't tell if these are stock names or not, and it's bothering me. And I think they are stock names, judging by what these are. Papa Core just likes to annoy me, I think. I do know we had an identical team build this season, starting off. So the 2 Berserkers, the 2 Ulfs, and a runner, with a Yeti possibly coming later, depending on how things were looking with the 3 rerolls. And he picked up the Apo after game 1. That being said, losing the runner early hurts, right? He's your fast boy. He's important. He did get a very critical early level on the Ulfs. These are, in my mind, the really standout pieces, right? Old Norse had 4 Berserkers. I think the Strength 4, Edgy 2 are very important. They really give the team a little more oomph. Granted, 4 Berserkers would be nice because they all come with jump up, but it is what it is. And these Strength 4 guys are really, really important. I don't necessarily agree with Guard as the first choice on an Ulf. Mighty Blow or Block would be my 2 preferred as their first skill. One in the other. Guard is important, but I think it needs to come later on in the tree, as you need the Ulfs to have either block or some kind of boost to their leveling, right? If they're going to be throwing a lot of blocks, Mighty Blow is obviously nice. It gives you a slight increase to grab some more SPP on there, with the +1. And block reduces your turnover chance. So both of those are really critical with the Ulfs, as they're the only players on the team that don't start with block. That said, Court's a very solid coach. He knows his positioning very well and will plan out his frenzies accordingly. Good luck, Cord. Godspeed, and I hope you don't chew up any more deaths. Alright, man? Good luck. We have Cord's Pretty Kittens from Goat Boy. Oh, hello, Goat Boy. Oh, that was it. That was a theme. That was a theme like that. My cat knocked over my computer. Ah, yes. The infamous cat. There's a story there, and maybe someday I'll share it with you guys. That being said, Goat Boy's got some very nice early levels with the block on both the thrower and the catcher, giving him 6 blodge pieces, not pizzas. See? Hungry. What am I going to do? He's got the names going on. This is nice. I appreciate the theme after the league as well. This is Petunia Panda. Thank you. I appreciate that. 2 fan factor, probably from wins. He's got 3 reroll and an Apo already. So this team's coming off really nice, right? Blitzer got an MVP. It's 1 cast away. That's their strength access, I believe, which is going to be very critical, especially if he's coming up against teams like the Norse and a few of the other heavy hitters. I like the build. I like the early blodge choice on both the thrower and the catcher. Those are very important. They open up really good options for him. So, good thinking, Goat. And let's see what you can do with him later on in the season. In living color, Storn with the Undead. Oh, just a second. We need to have our sponsored Bang Energy Drink product placement. So, there we go. Please address the check to the BBPN, or to the Panda, care of BBPN. That would be at least 3 payments of whatever you can send this way. Thank you. Great. You can do what you want to. You can leave your friends behind? No? No? Not quite. Alright, Storm. No levels yet. MVP on a zombie. Cast on a white. 3 rerolls. 2 ghouls. 2 whites. 2 mummies. Undead is really good coming out of the box. They can fit everything they need. Coming straight on out. He's got 90k in the bank. assuming he's probably going to want to replace a ghoul at some point because they do tend to die. That said, zombies for fouling, pretty standard undead build. And Storn is definitely more than capable of being able to use them and use them effectively. Very solid coach that has made me pay for my hubris on more than one occasion. So, good luck, Storn. I appreciate the theme as well. Thank you. And good luck in the future. We'll see where you're at in the coming weeks. Grey Heart playing Vampire, huh? No motto. Boo! Bad Grey. 4 rerolls is decent as Vamps. There's 70k out of the box, so you obviously want to start with as many as you can, as they balloon to 140, which is crazy. Double Vamp start. So, Cast on a Thrall, MVP on a Thrall, TD on a Thrall, and 2 Vamps. So, we've talked a bit about vampires before, and really how the vampires break down is the vampire pieces themselves are great, but the Thralls are really the workhorses on the team, right? They really standard stat line 6337, but these Thralls are what really make or break your vampire team. If a vampire gets hurt, yeah, it sucks, but you can sort of make up for it with proper positioning and putting these Thralls in and really getting them in the mix-up. So, I like the deep bench at 14, especially coming out of the gate. That being said, with how good the Thralls are on the vampire team, these 2 guys are definitely going to need to be the ball hogs, right? Strength 4 ball carrier, AG 4 ball carrier. Get in, get out, do what you gotta do. Hypno Gaze is really nice, as it can open up some holes, and it's almost technically broken. But this is a nice build. I like this. It's a conservative build for sure. He's not going to be doing any crazy vampire plays with those guys, but I think it fits. I look forward to seeing what Grey can do further on down. I don't like the standard themes. Standard names. Grey. All future players must be themed. Okay? Alright. Good. Glad we got that sorted out. Good luck, Grey. See you coming up. Oh, really? Who let the manservant in here? Where'd I leave my luggage? They lost it again. You know what, Ace? This is kind of like he who shall not be named. Stealing my bike all the time. Cadet found it. Sometimes. But look, this ain't... If you're stealing my themes, man, we're gonna have to fight. Crocs, sword. Oh, he looks a little light. Oh, he's got a theme going. Oof. Yep. That's 2 dead Sauruses. Saurai? Whatever. English doesn't matter. He's a manservant. It's all good. Crocs is a SPP machine at 12 of 16 after 2 games. Jeez. Obviously, Skinks are hogging the TDs. That's great. This is a little painful that the MVPs haven't landed on the Saurus. 2 reroll build is pretty standard when starting with Crocs. Obviously, you want to get the most amount of strength out there to give the Skinks what they need. The issue with that is you only have 2 rerolls and no freaking block. So, being 2 sources out is going to hurt. He's sitting at 50k, so as long as he rolls a 3 or better on his winnings on this next game, he should be able to replace one of them and get back in it. 2-fan factor told me he probably won both of his games, so that's good. It's a good way to start off. 2 wins coming in. We should take a little bit of the pressure off and give him some time to rebuild, which should work out great. So, good luck, Ace. By the way, Taco Tuesday is coming up. Please bring your cleaning gloves and cleaning supplies to the Cartel HQ. You've got some doo-doo to take care of. Thank you. Newcomer to the league. Jay Tanuki. Nuts. He's got a motto. He's got woodies. I like it. 2 rerolls. Pretty standard start. Picked up the Epo after the first game. He's got 2 dancers, a catcher, so this is good. This is good. So this is actually one of my favorite builds to start out with, as what else is the catcher and 2 dancers. Gives him a lot of opportunity. He did get... I don't agree with that skill choice, though. Kick is so bloody important on Wood Elf that is almost always the very first skill your lineman's going to take, short of guard. That being said, the catcher doesn't have any SPP, which is a little weird, but we'll take it. He's probably saving for the 3rd reroll. If he didn't want to, he could even put leader on the lineman. That's not wrong. I don't like the utilities or the survival skills straight off the bat on the lineman. Those really need to come after you get your kick. That being said, team looks good. 1 fan factor is probably a win and a loss, or a tie. So, yeah. A little more development on here. After 2 games, I definitely expect to see more than a single level, but those could have been very hard games. Granted, the roster is sitting healthy, so we'll see what happens, and good luck to you. Lords of Action, Eric's, Brett's. Hi, Eric's. Welcome back, Lizard Man. Action, that's what we do. Oof. So we got minus AG on a blitzer. He got plus AG on a blitzer, but he's out. We got a lineman that's out. 3 rerolls, 1 Evo, 3 fan factor. Looks like he's doing work, man. Looks like he's doing work. These early injuries on the blitzers, however, are gonna hurt. This is not a good way to start off, especially coming into this set. We have the lizards with the higher strength. We have vampires in the weak. We've got, this hurts, especially coming in 110k positional. Granted, though, he looked like he's made it work for him. This is probably just a mix next. We'll take a peek. Oh, nope, he's niggled. So AG up and niggled. Man, on AV8. Ooh, Eric's. That's a rough start, man. I still think he's worth keeping around. You're probably thinking the same thing. AG2 guy might need to go away. But the niggled AG4 is opens up some options for you. I hope your dice and your casseroles pick up in the future, man. I appreciate the theme, your action guys, and I hope things pick up and we can stop seeing these guys hurt. Good luck, Eric's. I appreciate you coming back out to play with us. Next team, Panda Love Cadet. Another vampire. Could be anyone or anything. Thanks, Cadet. Thanks. Look at that. 3 vamps. So, 5 rerolls, 2 fan factor, 3 vampires, and he has a host of thralls that are beat to poop. I'm not going to say too much on this, as we all already know Cadet knows how to play vampires. He took them to the playoffs in the now defunct and consumed by the Chaos Gods League. So, well, let's see what he does with them. These guys might just be fired. I'm not really sure how loner thralls play out. I know they're great to chew on, but we'll see what happens. MA down's not the end of the world, but the minus AG might be, depending on how he likes to play them. Good luck, Cadet. I hope this stops for you in the future, at least till I get to play you, and then I hope I kill every single one of those thralls. Love you, bud. I appreciate the theme, too. Clads. We got Kislev with a motto and a theme. Now, this is really the 2 reroll is a risky build, right? But you have your lack of skills on these guys is going to be a critical thing with the rerolls, but you've got very strong blitzers, very strong catchers at AG4 and Leap, and he took block, which I think is correct, even on the lineman. Yeah, this team looks good, Clads. I notice you're at 0 fan factor, so I'm unsure if you've won one of the past 2 games, or you won in a loss, might have dropped you as well. But this, I think, is the more correct build for how Kislev should be started in the short form, as it gives you most of your positionals right out of the box. The Bear is the Bear. Some people like him, some people hate him. I'd like to see him just because he gives a little hit to the opposition with the tail and mighty blow, but I can understand being light on rerolls why he's not there. You might even had to have dropped another one just to pick him up. So the team looks solid, Clads, and I look forward to seeing what you can do with them. So that's our team's cover. So, Ace is leading the division at 2-0-0. We have Eric's coming in at 1-1. Goat Boy at 1-1. Superfed at 1-1. And a couple teams don't have a game played yet. So, this is interesting. I just wanted to take a peek at it for you guys. I didn't expect things to be this weighted toward the top, especially with Goblins in 4th place, but it is what it is. We're going to be paying a lot closer attention to this in the future. But for now, here's where the league stands after match day. Well, I believe match day 2 is in progress. It should push sometime this evening. And good luck, coaches, and remember, Pandas never lose. We only win less.
Yes, everything Panda said is true. Ace is in 1st place. I have no idea. I am also astonished. But our new overlords must be looking favorably upon his team. Alright, thank you, Panda. That was great coverage. Now, let's go ahead and go over to Scar in the Zinch division. All hail the changer of ways.
Just, please tell your sister to stop using my recording booth as a massage table. I know she gives the best massages I could ever hope for, but she's distracting my staff, and I can only make examples out of so many of them before I start having problems. I'll deal with this later. Hello, coaches. This is Scar, your resident Dark Knight of the Void, finally back to cover Season 12, the Zinch division to be more precise. What do you mean we reset to 1? Why do we have to reset our number? VG's the one who... You know what? Never mind, it's not important. Speaking of not important, just for a quick note, I'm not really deep into the lore of Warhammer, so if I am mispronouncing the name of Tzeentch, then I give my most heartfelt, sincere, I don't care, I say it how I want. Anyway, we got a lot of somewhat fresh teams to meet before we go and see how these guys have done in their first 2 days of matches. This should be fun. Starting off at the top of the list, we have the Dodgeball Underdogs, coached by Minimo1, with the motto, "No one makes us bleed our own blood." I'm going to nickname them the Underdogs for irony purposes. For our team, we have 2 Blitzers, 1 Troll Slayer, 6 Longbeards, 1 with Guard, and 2 Runners, 1 with Dodgeball things. Very lucky start. With 1 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, and 3 Team Rerolls. This seems to be fairly standard dwarf team so far, with the exception of that dodge. If he can get blocked with that, he should be a very powerful piece indeed. Next up, it's the Bouncing Ghouls, a Kislev team coached by Placebo, with the motto, "We love cozy fur." I'm going to nickname them Bouncin', just to make them upset. Now, as for a team, they have a bunch of linemen, 2 sitting on a level up, another one that has already gotten sure hands, and 2 blitzers, one with Mighty Blow and the other with the all-reliable block. Pretty good team, but none of that 4 agility goodness that I know Kislev have. With 3 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, and 4 Team Rerolls. Very, very nice start. Next up, we have Judgment Time, the only Chaos team coached by Splinter. No team motto, though. Already disappointed. Let's see, he has 3 Chaos Warriors, looks like he lost one, and a bunch of Beastmen. No level ups yet, so they're still in that awkward phase. He has 1 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, and 3 Rerolls. Not a lot to say about these guys. They kind of have to get the SPP fast. Up next on the chopping block, we have Knee High Knockout, another dwarf team coached by Hikaru 2000. No motto though, how disappointing. I'm going to nickname them Knockout. For our team, we have 2 Troll Slayers, 2 Blitzers, 1 with Guard already, 2 Runners, a bunch of Longbeards to kill everything. So pretty standard dwarf team so far, with 1 Apothecary and 3 Team Rerolls. Not a lot to say about this team yet, we'll have to see on how they develop. Up next, we have the WWE's Women's Evolution, an Amazon team coached by Steeler Daddy with no team motto. Alright then, I'm going to nickname you WWE. Let's see, it has 4 Blitzers, 5 Line Women, 1 with Block, 1 Thrower, and 2 Catchers. One of the Blitzers has Guard. It has 1 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, and 4 Rerolls. Clearly relying on that to compensate for their inevitable shortages due to injuries. Next up, we have McMurdy's Mini Monsters, a halfling team coached by Mick Mackey, with no team motto yet. But we'll see. I'm going to nickname them McMurdy's. We have 2 Treemen, 1 with Guard, and a bunch of halflings that are basically just going to die. 1 is already wounded. We have 1 Fan Factor, no Apothecary because you're not saving these guys, and 1 Team Reroll. So they're really trying to keep that team value down for those inducements. Next up, we have Kodars Ain't My Real Dad, a Norse team by Angry Panda 86. With the motto, "Cadet is my mom though." Good to know, good to know. I shall nickname them Real Dad. For our team, we have 2 Offenders, 2 Berserkers, 1 Runner, and a bunch of linemen that have already gotten hurt. When it comes to upgrades, the only ones are the Wolfenders, 1 getting block, the other one getting Mighty Blow. Have 2 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, and 3 Team Rerolls, not too surprising. It looks like they've already taken quite a beating, but Norse can bounce back from a lot. Next up, we have the Fall of Gnats, a Wood Elf team coached by Guinness with the motto, "When the nukes fire, these guys save the day." I shall nickname the Gnats. For a team, we have 1 Treeman, 2 War Dancers, 1 sitting on a level up, 3 Catchers, 2 sitting on level ups, and 1 of them already having Blodge, and a few linemen to fill out the rest of the spots. 1's already injured though. With 2 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, but no team reroll. That is a big risk. I'm wondering how it's going to pay off for him in the end. Next up, we have Merrimack United, a Elf Union team coached by Vort, with the motto, "Elf BS to the extreme." I shall nickname you Mary. When it comes to teams, we have 2 Blitzers, 2 Catchers, and all linemen. Pretty much super squishy, and they've already lost someone. With 2 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, and 2 Team E-Rolls. We'll have to see how long these guys survive, and if they can truly live up to their motto. Up next, it's a player named Gus, a Norse team coached by Lando the Gambler, with the motto, "Bruton Gaster?" I shall nickname the Gus. When it comes to teams, we have 2 Runners, 2 Berserkers, 2 Offenders, and a bunch of linemen. 1 with Tackle, 1 with Dirty Player. That's pretty much it. We also have 2 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, and 3 Team Rerolls. There is really nothing out of the ordinary here. Most people skip the Yeti anyway. Next up, it's another fun team, the Lost Sons of Panda, a halfling team coached by the Scum himself, with the motto, "For our father and grub," as all halflings do. I shall rename you Lost Sons, and hope you get far. For a team, they have 2 Treemen and a bunch of halflings that are going to die, with 3 Fan Factors, surprisingly, 1 Apothecary, and 2 Team Rerolls. It all really comes down to Nuffle with this guy. And finally, we have the Ducking Dodging Delves, another Elven Union team coached by Phasers, with the motto, "Dip, dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge." I shall name you Delves because you're annoying. For a team, it's a lot like the other one, with 2 Blitzers, 1 with Blodge already, 2 Catchers, 1 with Guard, surprisingly, a Thrower, and a bunch of linemen, with 2 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, and 3 Team Rerolls. They are aiming to go far if they keep their luck up. Now, for a quick rundown of the different game results, we have Ducking Dodging Delves tying with Merrimack United 1-1, though Merrimack did lose someone. Next up, the Fall of Gnats in Wood Elf fashion completely decimated a player named Gus 2-0. At least no one died this time. Next up, Cordar's Ain't My Real Dad understandably beat the Lost Sons of Panda 2-1. At least Panda's sons actually got a goal. Next up, Dodgeball Underdogs beat McMurdy's Mini Monsters 2-1. Once again, surprised that a halfling team got a goal. Next up, WWE's Women Evolution tied with Bouncin' Bulls 1-1. That must have been at least somewhat interesting game to watch. For the last game of the day, we have Judgment Time conceding a victory to Knee-High Knockout. It's always disappointing when this happens. At the start of the second day, we have the Ducking Dodging Delves beating the Dodgeball Underdogs 2-1, and even getting away with it without losing anybody. Very, very nice. Up next, we have the Bouncing Bulls beating the Lost Sons of Panda 4-0. You don't see scores like that even with Wood Elf teams very often. Next up, we have a player named Gus tying with Judgment Time 1-1. And it looks like Judgment Time lost someone again. Man, they cannot get a break. Up next, we have Merrimax United beating Knee High Knockout 2-0. Very good job, but it did cost them one of their players. Up next, in a very high-scoring game, the Fall of Nats beat WWE Women Evolution 4-2. I think both teams should be proud of this game. And finally, Kodaris Ain't My Real Dad tied with McMurdy's Mini Monsters 0-0. If I didn't know better, I'd say that this was a no-show, but people just really couldn't do anything. Whew, that was a lot to cover. Thankfully for me, there's no reason to really look at the leaderboard this early on. But what I do know is that this season is looking to be quite an entertaining slaughter. And who knows, maybe if enough mooks kick it in 1 week, I could do another montage before the end of this round. We'll just have to wait and see. But until then, this is Scar saying, win or lose, the Void always gets its revenge. Back to you, Cadet.
Did you guys tell him that he's the Zinch division, not Slanesh? What do you mean you don't know? I swear fucking God. Where's my... You demons are worse than fucking goblins. Why? Why'd you have to kill him? Fucking you could take over and leave goblins there. You can corrupt goblins. What the fuck? Hey, welcome back. Okay, good job, Scar. We're going to need to talk about your intros a little bit. I'm not sure how much the Lord of Change would appreciate this, but you know what? Doesn't matter. Great video, great coverage. I enjoyed it. Alright, so before we skip over to our last division, I believe we have a Games of the Week announcement from Discom.
Well, hello everyone, welcome to the absolutely brand new spanking league, the BBPN. As we all heard about what happened when I was off going enjoying the World Cup. Yes, that one. Anyway, it's good to see you all back. Game of the Week, of course, is also back by proper demand and slipping some £5 underneath the broadcast booth door. And we're going to have a great time, aren't we, lads? And so for all you out there in the field, just remember, take care and Nuffle bless your dice.
Wait, if he's getting paid, does that mean the rest of us are finally going to get paid? I mean, now that, we have new overlords and stuff. What? We're doing this for free? Okay, anyway, I can't wait to see more Games of the Week. I'll always enjoy them. Always enjoy them. Anyway, time for our last division, but not least, the Corn Division with Ace Palette.
They say there is honor in battle. They are fools. We fight for the Emperor, but the blood we spill serves another. More Lord of Death, keep our souls, lest they fall prey to him.
Welcome back, everyone, to BBPN. I'm Ace, and we are back with another season, but this time with the BBPN handle. Welcome to the Blood Bowls Player Network, and welcome to the Corn Division. May we spill lots of blood for the Blood God. We have a bevy of teams in it this year, so let's go ahead. What's the one that's not? Okay, so that's not it. We have 12 teams in it. Let's go ahead and look over the teams for right now. We have gone into day 3, but let's just go over the team's compositions and see how this division looks. So Finhel coming in with a 4 vampire team. He does have 4 rerolls. He has picked up an apothecary, and one of his vampires has leveled up and got block. No bench to speak of. 1080 value. pretty decent here. All his vampires are 1 touchdown and 1 casualty away from leveling. Thralls are getting some SSP, but they're there to get hit and sucked on anyway. So 2 games in, I would say that's a pretty decent spread of SSP, and we'll see if they can continue to develop. Calm Yark coming in with, yes, you see it, the ogres once again, and he comes in with 5 ogres, 0 rerolls, or no, 6 ogres and 0 rerolls. So 0 rerolls and 6 ogres, no levels up yet to speak of, but it's Yark. We love watching him play ogres, and we'll see how he does. The mighty Zectorman playing as the Gobos. He is missing a goblin with an AG down. That's probably going to be a fired goblin. Goblin down here with AB6. Niggle or is that Niggle? Nope, just missed next game. But already having some trouble with injuries, not really getting any levels up. Troll's not doing anything. It's a goblin team. It's there to just have fun, and I hope he is. And I hope the best for you, Zector. Kemri, the rental. As you can see, you just have all 4 2 guardians. Throw rod does get block. Only 1 blitz rod though. Now going double blitz rod with 3 rerolls and 2 fan factor. Surprising with the no double blitz rod. So it only has 1 blitz rod, 1 throw rod, a bunch of skeletons, 1 extra for a bench. And that's all to speak of so far. 120 in the bank, so we can pick up another blitz rod if need be. But so far, so good. Scar, the underworld. Does have Skaven with the movement down. It does have 60k in the bank, so we could probably just fire and rehire him. Other linemen, nothing doing. Both Skaven blitzers. It does have troll, a bunch of goblins, 2 bench deep. But no levels yet to speak of a few days in. But it's underworld. As soon as the levels start pouring in, he's going to be doing just fine, I think. Then we have Yark and Sons, Risey, coming in with the other ogre team. Does have an ogre to level and another Noblar to level. The Noblar, though, and just missed next game. 2 rerolls, 5 ogres, 11 players. So a bit safer on the players. And he is 1 game away from getting his last ogre. And we shall see how he does versus Yark. Unnecessarily aggressive. Shancho bringing in the Russians. Kislev, he has had 2, I don't know if death or injury leading to death. Does have a catcher at 5 SSP, so 1 pass away. Blitzer at 2, Lyman at 3. He has a good spread of SSP. 4 rerolls. Not a lot of money in the bank, though. Probably saving up for yet another blitzer at some point. So he's going to be playing with 2 linemen for 2 loners for a while, but it's Kislev. They take a while to level, but if you can get them to level, they can be quite the dangerous team. Feudal effort here with the Bretonians. Does already have 3 levels, 2 Blodge blitzers and a dirty player lineman. So we're going into the foul territory. 2 rerolls. Did lost a player, but it's just a peasant, no big deal. So he's already leveling up. His other blitzers are close to leveling up. He's doing just fine as Bretonians. I see him being near the top of the leaderboard in round 1, but we shall see in case he starts getting injured. Here we see Scambammer bringing in the Dark Elves, and he goes with something interesting. He goes with a double assassin build, alignment with dodge, alignment with agility up, and a runner. So no witches whatsoever. All linemen, not a single blitzer, and 2 assassins. 2 rerolls, no apothecary yet. I don't know if I agree with this. I prefer the blitzers just because they're AV8 start with block, but I don't know, maybe he's making good use of these assassins, but we shall see as he goes on. Good time coming with the orcs. Does have a level up here on the thrower with block and alignment with guard. 3 rules. Does have the Apothecary. Pretty standard build here. 4 Black Orcs, 4 Blitzers. Nothing to see here that's not out of the ordinary. But we'll see how he does in the future. Coming up here, Dr. Helix with the Necromantic team. Does have a ghoul ready to level, probably going to be Blodge. Does have a werewolf with block. Flesh golems doing their job and just being that. The white does get tackle. And a bunch of zombies that are just there to get punched. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So start with 1 werewolf, 1 ghoul. Probably going to buy that second werewolf here soon. Does have 3 rerolls. Does have 3 Phantom Factor. And we shall see how the great Dr. Helix does. And the final team is the Purple Boys, Tassie. To start with the runner, does get dodge on him. Does start with all 4 blitzers, 1 getting block, 1 getting guard. Lineman down, and he lost lineman, but it's just a lineman, no big deal. He has enough money to replace him. Really good levels up already on the blitzers, making them nice, a good support and a nice dodger. And the thrower is getting up there in levels, probably going to get Blodge next, and that's going to be his main ball carrier for a long time. Doing pretty well, I do say so myself, and we shall see how he does. But that is going to be your 12 teams in the core division this
Ace, the helpful place.
Before Ace was rudely interrupted by our new switchboard crew, I believe he meant to say this was Ace Pilot, more blood for the Blood God, and more skulls for the Skull Throne. But, there, I filled it in for him. Great job, Ace. Good video. Something might have went on, but maybe too much awesomeness. I have no idea. But anyway, good job. So, hey, that is it for BBPN this week, guys. I hope you come back next week and join us for more results, more action, and more memes. Alright, this is Cadet Tank saying, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but never bet against me.